can say that I started being intrigued with makeup when I was like in the 7th grade. I remember I could not wear makeup. My mama and daddy did not play that, but my mom always kept a lot of makeup. And I remember my mom leaving for work before me, so I would get myself dressed for school and all that stuff. So I remember taking one of my mama's eyeshadow palettes, and I want to say it was like an Avon eyeshadow palette. Now, granted, I got some age on me, so back in the day it was very hard to find pigmented shadows that actually showed up on my dark skin. My mama is super light compared to me, right? But I didn't care. So I took one of her shadows, and I would never forget, I would always put that makeup on in the mornings, use my finger. It was nothing but eyeshadow, and in my head I'm using a green eyeshadow, but it was coming up as white or silver. And I always liked it. Like, I was like, I'm kind of into that. So I remember, I think either in 9th or 10th grade, my mom allowed me to go to the MAC counter, and I was able to get matched and all of that stuff. And once I went to the MAC counter, I knew that I wanted to be a makeup artist. I always had like this just love for it. Like, it did something to me. It was just amazing to know that you could like transform your face or somebody else's face with makeup. So yeah, went through high school, really started liking it. But again, back in the day, like, it was really hard to find makeup that was for dark skin. Like, that was always a challenge. So I remember senior year came around, and it was time to figure out, like, what do you want to do after high school? I wanted to be a makeup artist, but there wasn't as many resources as there is now back in the day. So being a makeup artist was like, that wasn't really a real thing. That wasn't a real career back then, right? And I wasn't familiar with esthetician at all. Like, everybody was always telling me, like, oh, you have to go to school for cosmetology in order to, understand, get the fundamentals of makeup. And I knew that I had no interest in doing hair. Like, hair was never my thing. Like, I would literally cut all my hair off because I hated doing my hair. So I just kind of like put it in the back of my mind, end up going to college. And I remember like being in college and telling them, like, I'm gonna be a makeup artist. I remember saying this. And I would also do I would do, once I graduated from high school, I would do other people's makeup that was in high school, like, just like for prom. I wasn't charging anything. It was just something I really enjoyed, and I was pretty good at it. So I remember going through college and still saying, like, oh, I'm gonna be a makeup artist. Like, I kept on saying it. I'm gonna be a makeup artist. I kept saying it, but I was always scared, honestly, because also during that time is when social media started making its way around, and it became a lot more popular, right? And I think that I was really afraid of what other people would say, because granted, like, I wasn't the best at doing it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had a lot of work to do, and I think I was like afraid of just hearing what other people would say about me, right? So I kind of like put it in the back of my mind, but yeah, I was still doing my own makeup. Still, like, we would attend all of the MAC events, like buying all of the palettes, like all of the things. Like, I have always been into makeup. So I finished college. And it was time for me to go into the real world, right? So I got a job. I remember my first job right after college. I hated it. It was just, the environment was just toxic, like, but it paid the bills, and it was the most money I had seen since graduating, well, since being out of school, right? So, but still during this time, I'm still into makeup. But still afraid to actually jump out and actually do it. So I would just kind of do my own makeup. Again, this is when, like, social media, this is like the era when social media, when Instagram really start popping. So I would like just do my own makeup and like post my photos and things and stuff like that on Instagram, all of that. So I remember I got another job with the company that I'm with now, and I end up moving back to Columbia. So I moved to Columbia, start working that job, and I'm still saying I'm gonna be a makeup artist. I'm gonna be a makeup artist. And I remember I had an interview. I got an interview at Estee Lauder, and y'all, when I tell y'all I was not prepared for an interview, I did not deserve the job because I was not prepared at all. But it's like that rejection did something to me. It was just like, okay, well, maybe like being a makeup artist is just something that's not going to happen in my life. It's just going to be one of those dreams that I always wanted to do but never actually fulfilled it. So again, back to fear. Like, I was just afraid. I was just afraid to put myself out there. And so I remember I was over Columbia. I was ready to I knew I wanted to stay in Charlotte. And I ended up getting a job, another position, still with the same company, but in Charlotte. But when I initially got the job, I moved back home, which is South Carolina. And I told myself, like, I'm only going to stay there for a year. And it's like that time there, I just found myself being so sad. And I don't know if it was just an adjustment because I had been so used to, no, not my memory card about to die. Hold on, y'all. Okay, y'all, sorry. My camera was dying, my memory card was full. All right, so okay, so I moved back home, right? And during that time I was just like, I don't know, I was like sad. And I think it was just because I had so many other things going on in my life, like just a lot of personal things going on. I was back home with my parents. Nothing was wrong with it, but I don't know, I think it was just an adjustment for me. And I hated the job that I was doing. Like, I was literally customer service, talking to people all day, every day. People cussing me out, talking to me crazy. It was just awful. So, and I remember like saying, like, always telling myself, like, dang, like, God didn't bless me with like a gift. Like, I don't have a gift. Like, I kept on saying it, like, I don't have a gift. I don't know, like, I just didn't know like what it was. Like, I was just trying to find like what I was passionate about, what really made me happy. And but again, makeup had always been my thing, but I was always afraid. So like, don't be scared, don't live in fear, like go after whatever it is that you want to do. Okay, so I remember I had, I don't know if I saw it on Instagram. I don't know where it was, but I saw where this artist was having like a hands-on makeup class. And it was like, I want to say it was like either between $200 and $300. I was like, I'm doing this. It was like 4 to 5 hours, her basically teaching you the fundamentals, and then you have we had like a model to do. It was a whole nine, and she gave you got like different products to add to help start up your makeup kit, all of the things. So I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to do this. And I remember I paid my deposit, which is like, it was between $100 and $150. I paid my deposit. Cool, I'm doing this. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I don't know, I can't remember what happened, but the day of the class, I was just in such a bad mood. Like, I was so sad. I really don't even know, I can't remember like what happened. But I was so sad, and I just felt like I just didn't even feel like going because I was just in such a bad mood. But it was just like something was telling me, and that something, now I know that it was God telling me like, no, you need to go to this class. You need to go to this class. So I remember getting myself together. I went to the class. And y'all, I promise you, like, on the way there, again, I was just so sad. I can't remember, like, I really don't remember what I was sad about or where my mental was at that time, but it wasn't good. And I remember, like, on my way there, just crying, boohoo crying, like, just being sad. So I got in the class, and it's like the moment I stepped inside of that class, it's like my energy just changed. Like, my whole demeanor was just different. Like, I felt like a sense of relief, honestly. So The class went so good. You know, she taught us the fundamentals of color theory, matching, how to actually build your business, how to build a your clientele, all of the things. And then we had an actual model that was able to do makeup on, and she was there to like walk us through every step and help us if we got stuck anywhere. It was just so good. So I remember like once the class is over, I felt so good leaving that class. Like, and I remember the class was like far, because I'm in South Carolina, so it was a good hour drive. So on my way home, it was just the complete opposite from my way there. On my way home, I was like, okay, like, I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna pursue being a makeup artist. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna do it. All right, so I will never forget, I got my cousin Shauna. I was like, I convinced her actually to let me do her makeup because I needed to just start practicing. Y'all, when I tell you, it was terrible. Like, it was so bad. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. I was just so discouraged. And I'm so pissed at myself now because I took a picture and everything, but I was so disappointed in how it turned out that I immediately like deleted it because I was just like so discouraged. And I remember my cousin Shauna saying like, don't quit, like, don't give up, like, you just gotta keep on practicing, I just felt so discouraged. Like, here we go again, like, maybe this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. And then I won't never forget, like, my aunt, they stayed right across the street from my mom, my parents. And I will never forget my Aunt Pam. She called me the same night and she was like, oh, it's okay, Weedy. Like, you'll get better at it. Like, don't quit. It was just, So I took like a couple of days feeling like maybe this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. And like, this is for anybody who wants to like do makeup, do hair, do nails. I feel like it's just a process. Like, nobody just wake up and they're great at it. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that the more you do it, the better you get at it. Don't get discouraged because nobody starts off being great. You know what I'm saying? So, but I was so discouraged, y'all. But I'm also that person that, like, once I put my mind to something and I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So I was like, okay, so I need more practice. I knew that I needed more practice. So I started, like, I want to say that it was Eventbrite. It may have been another site, but something like Eventbrite. I started going on there looking for like gigs that I could do, like different fashion shows. On Instagram, I was looking for fashion shows, people looking for makeup artists. Now, I was doing all of this stuff for free. This is another thing. Like, you have to be open and okay with working for free. Like, you don't just jump off making a lot of money. Even, it's just a process. So I remember I did so many fashion shows literally for free. Like, I remember I went and got me some see, I can't remember if, anyways, I got me some Maybelline Fit Me foundation. I got me this little purple makeup bag, and baby, we started going. I got me a ring light. I ordered me a ring light, and I just started going to different fashion shows, doing makeup for free now.